So now that we've taken a step into the Cosmos era, we've gotten our first Cosmos with the Ice Gigas, we've taken on Shiva Cosmos, we're going to have our next Cosmos come out with Vayne in the next 2 days on Wednesday night. I want to start a mini-series on the channel about the importance of characters for the Cosmos era, characters that are specifically being released in the Cosmos era, and how they fare and how they're going to do. We can sit here and read off stats as much as we like, but I like to get experience with the characters. So even though Freya was released for the Cosmos era, I will consider doing her maybe, considering that she's already passed. We've had our experiences with her. We've had a chance to see her. She came out a little while ago. If you guys would like to see an Importance of Freya video for the Cosmos era, by all means, I'll gladly put one out. But right now, we're gonna start off with our boy Zack. Not choosing Zack first because of bias. Don't let that fool you. It's totally because of bias. We're gonna start with Zack because Zack just came out yesterday, and he's one of our first characters to be released in the Cosmos era. And with that being said, Vayne will be next, so I'll be doing Vayne shortly after his release and everything. Anyway, let's talk about Zack. So the importance of Zack Fair in the Cosmos era is he is our offensive tank. The purpose of Zack is he makes everyone target himself. So one, he gains more damage, and two, you can let the rest of your party go ham because you don't have to worry about them getting broken. It's all going to him. And the purpose of all that going to him is for his EX ability, Apocalypse. So in Apocalypse, he has the Brave Barrier. Everyone knows what the Brave Barrier is by now. We know what it does. But the fact that we have that Brave Barrier for Zack exclusive, it's an exclusive ability to Zack, where it's 150% of his initial Brave. If anything's below that, you take no damage. If anything's above that, it subtracts the numerical value by the damage is being taken. So he's taking less damage, less Brave damage than what he should be. That's absolutely fantastic because 10 times out of 10, they're not going to be doing enough damage to you, especially since he has physical resistance that gets applied from his abilities Chain Slash and Rush Assault. So if they're a physical damage dealing unit or enemy, you're taking no damage because he's already resisting it to the point where he's not going to take any damage. And even if they're magical, like for example, if you haven't watched my Shiva Cosmos run that I just uploaded, go watch that really quickly so you can see. Shiva, while not the hardest Cosmos in the world, not the hardest thing to do in the world, she still hits pretty hard. Especially with her one ability where she raises her own Brave and hits twice for 5 to 6k. Zack ate it. He ate it. And let me show you, I don't even have the best artifacts that I would like to have on him right now. I want the attack 108s, I want more int Braves up 170, and I need more Soldier's Grit boost. He's not even at his current max potential that he could be at, and he's already kicking he's taking no damage, and he's kicking ass. And that's one of the best things is because of that, you can now focus on damage with your proper supports. You can even niche it out if you want to and bring along Selfie or someone that raises the initial Brave, so Zack can tank even more. But yeah, pretty much the point of Zack is to take all the damage onto himself, which is no damage in the first place, dish it back out tenfold, and even if he does take HP damage, if you don't have a healer on the team, he heals. His Rush Assault gives him HP regen based on, it doesn't say it here, it's within his abilities and his 35 CP, based on 8% of his max HP, so it'll take a little bit, but he heals himself. So he's self-sufficient. The only thing that he doesn't have is Brave regen, but he has a mechanic in his Chain Slash and Rush Assault and his HP Attack Plus, which he does get, where it converts a certain percentage, I don't remember the percentage off the top of my head, it converts a certain percentage of the HP damage that he dealt back into his Brave. So he's self-sufficient, he's self-supplying himself with Brave, so he can avoid taking a break if need be, if need be, that they actually do break through that brave barrier. He's avoiding breaks almost at all costs, and he has HP regen, he has damage, he is a self-sufficient character who you can then revolve your party around to either increase his damage output or increase your designated damage dealer's output. But you don't have to worry about Zack, because Zack can just do damage. That's his thing. He does a lot of damage. And he doesn't need anyone else buffing him up either, because of the way his abilities work too. His abilities jump to a total of a 700% brave attack increase when they're targeting him. He does not need additional buffs. He doesn't need it. He can do the damage on his own. So basically, guys, the importance of Zack Fair in the Cosmos difficulty is everything that I just described. He's a offensive tank that lets your party go ham. His only downside is if they do have self buffs, where they take a turn to apply buffs to either their teammates or whatever, or themselves. Because at that point, even if they're doing an AoE attack, they're still technically targeting Zack. He will still continue to push out damage. If they're targeting themselves, unfortunately, his damage will then fall off. But 9 times out of 10, that's just for one turn, and you can apocalypse your way through that if you have the right setup going. So it's really not that much of a concern. Another big concern for a lot of players, and this is kind of understandable, is Warrior of Light's amazing rework comes out next month, which a lot of people consider puts Zack on shelf. Now, the thing with Warrior Light, he'll get his own video, but we're going to do like a quick talk right now about it. The thing with Warrior Light is he's still more of a defensive tank. While his Shining Shield now gives to the entire party, it has Brave Regen and a Brave Battery, and he can heal HP damage with his with his sword. Oh, God, his EX ability. He has a lot more party utility than Zack. And that's kind of the big thing. Like, you don't then have to revolve your party around Warrior of Light. You can just slap him onto a team and then can go ham with damage dealing, because Warrior of Light's supplying the party himself. Whereas, if you want to supply the rest of the party outside of Zack, you would need attack boosters and stuff like that. Brave regen, which is fine. I'm going to be real. Most of the time, you're going to bring someone like that regardless, to buff up the team, to give the team Brave Regen. Even though you don't need to give it to Zack, you're still going to bring it because you want it there. So, my thing is while Warrior of Light is fantastic, I don't think he shelves Zack at all. Because Zack still does more damage. And while the Shining Shield is super, super impressive, consecutive hits, and especially if you aren't paying attention to it, can break through it. With Zack, you don't even have to worry about it at all. Consecutive hits don't break through it. If it's not reaching over what the Brave Barrier is, it's not doing any damage. So, the importance of Zack Fair in the Cosmos difficulty is basically everything I just described. He's an amazing offensive tank. He puts the burden of damage onto himself while not taking any damage in the first place, and he can let the party go ham. Does he get shelved by Warrior of Light? Absolutely not. He's still here. He's still pushing damage. And he gets an early level 70 himself. He's actually on JP. He was actually in the second batch of level 70 awakenings. So he doesn't stay in level 60 for too long. He actually becomes level 70 fairly soon, and that just further increases his damage. And then, taking a peek into the Cosmos era, Zack becomes one of the best in the game. Probably the best in the game. So, for Cosmos, yeah, hell yeah, he's important. He falls off a little when Chaos rolls around, because Cosmos honestly isn't that long of an era. We're going to be in Chaos before we know it. He falls off for Chaos only because he doesn't have an EX+, and, you know, his damage just, it's not there compared to the rest of the cast that's getting EX pluses and stuff. But at that point, it's short-lived. He then gets an EX plus, and you can put Zack just about anywhere because he's the best. He's the best of the best. So right now, if you're choosing to pass on Zack for whatever reason, it's up to you guys. But my personal opinion, bias aside, my personal opinion, Zack is very much worth it. He is very much a must-pull for the Cosmos era because he will trivialize so many things. And yeah, he'll just make everything a cakewalk. We're going to be getting a lot of characters that are just going to be making everything a cakewalk for the Cosmos era. Cosmos does not stay difficult for long. And I'm going to be real with that. Cosmos, it just does not stay difficult for long. But next up, it's going to be Vayne Salvatore, who I will be pulling for because I do have the resources. So I'll get to try him out firsthand. So the next character I'll be going over will be Vayne. If you guys want to see Freya, you want to see a commentary video on Freya, what she does for the Cosmos era, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to go back to Freya. But we're going to start from here and move on. Next will be Vayne, followed by Fran, Rydia, and then as the characters release, so on and so forth, as long as I have the time to put out the video. If I can't, I'll let you guys know, I'll let you guys know beforehand that the video will probably be a little late, or I might not be able to get to it at all by the time that because after a certain amount of time, there's kind of just no point in putting out the video, especially if I miss like the opportunity to do it within the first 5 or 6 days, because then it's already well past and whatnot, so on and so forth. But that's just how I see it. So if you guys are looking forward to a Freya commentary video, let me know. Comment below. Vayne will be next. Zack is a must grab, guys. Make sure you get him if you can. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.